So, my dear Aquarius, the sun is now in Capricorn. The attachments, the climbing up the ladder, the Amnamita Muscaria, right? Which is the shaman's tool. Very important. The moon in your sign today, so that I can get the information for you. We look into the subconscious and see what feelings are coming up. And of course, you are ruled by Uranus. That's the Fool. That's the evolution and revolution that we can bring into this world when we are born as an Aquarius. And you are the star. And the star here with sun god Apollo, we see the sun is a dwarf star, that you bringing the change, that you bringing the new technology. And of course I gave you as yoga pose this stretch outwards like a star, and we have here one foot on land and one on water, the hand and the other one up in the air, because you're an air sign. So this is Santolandasana, side plank. You are the 11th zodiac sign, and as a King of Swords here in this deck, you have actually a female and a masculine king, so you can pick which one works for you, right? Is your birthday between January 9th and February 7th, then is he your court card, right? Then you are this. If not, look in the description. I have listed all of them down there below. You are also connected to the 11th house of community and technology, right? It's important that we find a new community where we can be just the way we are. Very important, right? That's where we feel safe to explore this kind of movement, right? New beginnings. Back to the last reading, Sagittarius Sun gave Aquarius Moon the light. We had a big message there, Pluto in Aquarius said, because Pluto was moving on the 19th of November into Aquarius, into your sign. And so you are gonna feel that for 20 years. Let your emotional maturity guide your path, was the message. So we look if there is a reoccurring card coming up. There is one. And the devil came already, so it was letting you know that this is the time where you are going to get attached to certain things. But that's it, right? And so we can begin the reading. And of course, we always begin with the court card, right? What you are as a physical body. And so there we have a choice, which is not new. It has existed before, particularly in the deck that I picked for Uranus, the Visconti Sforza Tarot. They already had a masculine and a feminine king, a masculine and a feminine queen, and a masculine and a feminine knight, and the pages. So you are getting the 6 of Swords, which is Mercury in Aquarius. So Mercury is the magician, and Aquarius, of course, you are the one that is learning here something. And we are reading to the left. Remember that. You are going to your new moon. In the next reading, you have sun and new moon both in your sign. And so understand that you are now learning tremendously. So this could be the 6th of November or the 11th of June as a date. So observe, right? that you are learning something important through the star. Maybe Pluto in Aquarius is opening up doors for you, but also transformations will come to you. What is the Mother Peace Tarot saying? The Seven of Wands, which is Mars in Leo, slightly to the right and down. And that's courage. Have the courage to learn. Have the courage to see that Mercury in Aquarius is coming here and letting you know you are ready. So it's pointing to the right, and that means you, from an outer perspective, want to take that courage outwards, but then when we become the card, that goes to the left, inwards. The 6 and the 7 is the 13, and that's transformation. And in that transformation, you're learning then to arrive in the 4, and the 4 is then the Emperor, the 4 elements. And I think you understand that these 6 swords, these mental aspects of learning, of realizing that yes, you are here, this dark cloud, you're going from one spot to the next, right, to the more calmer. You're looking at this island here because you have the courage to remove yourself, and to remove yourself from people, right? So here the 4th of November or the 11th of March could be a date that is then as an end result talking to you. Then we look at Uranus, and Uranus is bringing you the 4 of Cups. And in the 4 of Cups, we always see a stability, but in that stability, we can also be a little bit stuck. And so we have a yearning and a looking out. And so you have the 4 left, right, with the 6 of Swords and the 7 of Wands. We have the 13 and the 4 left. And so those are connecting with these 4 cups. Dive down into these 4 cups and recognize that, yeah, a certain stability can also be an imprisonment, can be that squareness where you feel you have arrived, but the journey continues. It's just, we cannot stop it, right? Nothing stops, everything is spinning. What comes from the Mother Peace through the 9 of Discs to the left down. And that's, of course, Venus in Virgo. And Venus is the one that creates new endeavors to have the money, but somewhere you're a little scared to use the money. The 9 and the 4 again is the 13. The transformation comes here and wants to tell you, take that new beginning out and explore, because the 4 is left. So then the 4-4 portal, 2 times the 4, you understand there is a creativity in arriving, but you need to continue. And you see she's really good in what she's doing. She has created all these coins. And it's that inner knowledge that she knows is bringing her then the liberation, right? When we feel stuck in being in a place where it doesn't change. And so the transformation comes to change you, and the 4 is then new experienced. Very interesting, right? So the 4 comes again out of it because the 9 is a number that gives itself up. So the 4 stays. But you had to go through this to understand this anew, right? That's what is coming through here. And then we see here the star. That's what you are, right? Up there in the sky. And the first card here is the 7 of Cups, Venus in Scorpio. And Venus in Scorpio, we see that Venus here in Virgo is letting you know the star, that's what you are. She's pointing at one star, right? And you had 4 cups, now you have 7, you have 11 cups, and 11 cups is that moment where you understand that's who you are. You are the 11th zodiac sign. You are the community, you are the technology, you are a portal. And so the 17 turns into an 8, the 8 and the 7 is the 15, and the 15 is Capricorn, is the attachment to being in the 4, right? The 4 is always that, okay, yeah, I'm glad I have what I have, I'm really great, but somewhere you are yearning for something more, and you are handed another cup, right? And so you know that the 11 is then letting you speak from the inner teacher that knows. So the 8 here, the 17, the 8, and the 7 is the 15, the attachment, right? That's what here the devil shows us, that we get attached to success, that we get attached to wanting more than we could ever imagine, but that's the path, right? The soul wants that. And so the 6 is left, and the 6 is coming back here to the 6 of Swords. She's pointing at the star, and here is one star that is anchoring you down to this island. And she's up here, and she's up here, and you're up here. You're up in the cloud. You're up in the sky. You are the star. Sometimes you are air. Sometimes you're so up there because you're air in air. So come down and see for yourself what's going on here. What is bringing you, Capricorn? The 5 of Cups. So 4 cups and 5 cups and 7 cups, right? So we have here 9 cups and 7 is 16 cups. The 16 is the tower. The tower that says things gotta go. You have come down. You are seeing this sadness. And you're crying, right? And you are in a state of consciousness where you feel like you've lost things. But always remember, you have 2 more cups standing. The others have spilled. So here you have 7 and 5. It's the 12. The 12 is the Hangman. Go into an upside down position to let go. The 12 becomes the 3. The 3 is the Empress. Create new things. So the 8 and the 3 is the 11. You appear. So notice the portal. Notice that you can reach a conclusion here in the way you feel, in the way you think that life is treating you. So the 16 turns into a 7. So the 7 is the emotional intelligence to pick the star that you are up in the sky, knowing that you put the stars onto your dress, and that's it. You have the stardom as the birth certificate, right? And so observe what is coming from the Mother Piece Tarot, the 10 of Swords. That's Sun in Gemini upright. And so something here is now clear, right? You feel that you are at the end of a situation because you have 6 swords and 10, 16 swords, the Tower. In the way you think, you have to let go, to run away, and they're running to the right, but in a way, of course, when we then become the card, they run away to the left, to the interior. So the 12 and the 10 is the 22, and that's the Fool. Be foolish enough to know that you're learning something, and that you have the 16 swords, but the 7 is left. So there's a 7-7 portal. And you have the 7 of Wands. 3 times the 7. Learn. Learn to take action. Learn to control your thoughts and learn to control your feelings. right? That's what Pluto's gonna do to you, really. I mean, Pluto's gonna be like, okay, what can we change? What can we take away? And situations like this, but this is a constellation, Sun in Gemini. In the way you communicate, right, with others, that you feel all these different emotions. You feel like stable, then you feel sad, and then again you feel like you're in an illusion. But you're picking always one star. You're holding one cup, and one cup is reached to you. So that one is always the one and only, right? The consciousness. And there is a one here in the 10. So the 10, and of course the 3 is the 13, and the 13, the 4 is left. So you're 3 times the 4. The 4 and the 8 is the 12, the hangman, let go. And then the 3 is born. The 3 is the empress, be an empress. And understand that situations come so that we learn. And the 5 is always the human learning. The 7 is the emotional intelligence learning. And the 10 is always a new cycle can begin. So understand that an important message is wanting to come here to you, right? The important message that you running to this island, but from the island they're jumping into the water. So you desiring this island, but there's also something where people can come and push you away. This is the Thelma and Louise movie. It's very interesting. So you see that they jumping into the water, and she's sitting up here, and the cloud is water hanging in the sky. So the 7 is left, right? And that 7 is important because you understand all of a sudden that you have a choice. And she's also sitting here in this cloud. She's actually lying in this cloud. It's really beautiful. But also see this, right? The letting go of things that haven't worked out. And understand Mars in Scorpio, that's the 13 that came a few times, and the 13 is always that big transformation. And in that transformation, you're learning. But you also have this, right? The 9 of Pentacles, slightly to the left. And to the left, we understand, okay, maybe I need to go more deep within to learn who I am really, because Venus in Virgo is bringing that to you. And the 3 came a few times, right? Venus is the Empress. Being an Empress is responsibility. And the 7 of Wands, slightly to the right, right? You have to prove to the tribe who you really are. You have to show them that you can do it. And in there, you gain courage. And so the courage to cut through the illusion of the 7, right, is important. So learn. Learn to observe the whole game of life. And in there, learn that you understand that certain deep emotions are still lurking. And yes, in the light there is a dark, and yes, there is Capricorn that attaches you sometimes to the success. And the success, right, which is the 9 of Pentacles, Venus in Virgo, is like you have everything, but somehow you're not really enjoying it. And of course, the Cups, right, that have spoken. And you are understanding that you learning to awaken when these 16 cups bring then the emotional intelligence. So let go of this and let go of this, but this can only be defined because you have gone through it The 16 is then the 7. The 7 is left. So dream a dream. Dream your dream. To be who you want to be. The star that you are, right? I always say that. It sounds really beautiful because, you know, everybody wants to be a star right now, and everybody's doing what they're doing to gain that recognition. And so let your emotional maturity guide your path. And you have 16 cups and 7 is left. Let your emotional maturity, your emotional intelligence guide your path forward. So I hope I see you in the next reading. That's when you get Sun and New Moon in your sign. That's when you can plant a seed. Very important to really take that time when you have a new moon. Until then, I thank you so much for being with me. Namaste.